Well, hi everyone. It's Wednesday Hump Day, and my continuation from yesterday's story. I never realized that an onion sandwich would cause so many wonderful comments. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing reading some of those comments that came out that you wrote, and we had such a vast amount of comments come out. It was terrific. And anyway, here's my Hump Day story for today. Many, many moons ago, when I lived in St. George's Hills, and my manager lived just down the road a little bit, and I went over to his house to pay my respects and say hello, and I went and visited. And he had a house that was thatched roofed, and it was quite a large compound as well. And it had cages everywhere, big, huge, massive cages, because the land was so vast. And he had big cages, and inside those cages, he had his own zoo. He had, he had monkeys, he had leopards, he had lions, he had tigers, he had cheetahs, and there was one particular section of a gorilla, and it was a one-eyed gorilla he called Ollie. And I was in there, and I was talking to the animals, and of course Gordon came along, and as I went into Ollie's cage, not in his cage, I went into the section where he was in this massive cage, and I was wearing a beautiful sweater that was knitted for me by my at that particular time music director. His name was Laurie Holloway, and his mother made me the most gorgeous sweater, and with loved care. And I was wearing that particular sweater that day, and I think it was so nice and colorful that I think it took the eye of the animals. They loved it. As a matter of fact, Gordon liked it as well, because he said to me, he says, "That's a nice sweater you're wearing." He said, "Can I try it on?" So I said, "Sure, why not?" So I took it off my back, and this was in St. George's Hills in Surrey, okay? And I took this sweater off my back, and he put it on, and of course, he was about the same size as I was, so it kind of fitted him pretty good, but and then he went turned his back on Ollie's cage, and I don't know what he was doing. I didn't pay it any attention at the time, but he was standing next to the cage with his back to the cage, and Ollie came up to the front and put his finger in the back of at the top of the nape of his neck, and ripped my sweater right off Gordon's back. Could you imagine the power it took to rip that sweater? And I was so upset, because I loved that sweater so much, And Gordon said, I think he knew what he was doing, because this is one of his party pieces that he usually has, because he knows what Ollie would do to the sweater off his back. And that's my story from Hump Day story about a gorilla who took my wonderful sweater and turned it into rags and tatters. I'm so upset. But listen, how did you enjoy your onion sandwich? Did you try one? It's great. You mustn't toast the bread. You did make it nice, and just plain bread with butter on it, and you put chop your onions up and put them there, and eat it, and have a lovely cup of tea with it, a hot cup of tea, or coffee, whatever you enjoy there. Try that next time, okay? Okay, until the next time, remember, I love you. Bye-bye.